Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh yes, happy Mother's Day.
To all of you mothers out there. It's going to be kind of a chill day. We're just going to do a couple of videos. We're going to spend Mother's Day with Geeky here, but we're going to talk about some internet drama. We're going to talk about MrBeast. And MrBeast, it doesn't matter what this guy does. He's always getting in trouble. The internet's always got a hot take on
jealousy.
Yeah, it's on how he spends his money. The internet wants to spend MrBeast money for him.
They're mad because he's not giving them money.
Yes.
Or a house or whatever.
So now the latest, and this is after his friend, the situation with his friend being trans and all that, and we had the media outlets, a lot of media outlets being like, oh my God, those bigots are attacking MrBeast's friend. Now it's, oh my God, MrBeast, how dare he? He's buying all his employees a house.
Right, that means it's going to be a corporate city, and you know how those are.
Yeah, I want to remind you, a lot of these writers, a lot of these journalists tend to lean to the socialism side of things, and that's kind of a thing that everybody's like, hey, we should all have a right to a house.
I've heard people say that.
I guess the problem is that that MrBeast is buying the house, and he's a cis white dude, privileged cis white dude.
Basically they're mad because he's like as close to Batman right now as most people can relate to. And they're mad because remember, Batman's a fascist. Everybody's right. Batman's supposed to give all his money away to them. And the thing is that he does give a lot of his money away.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this because he has become the new PewDiePie. And PewDiePie is probably like, oh, thank God you beat me.
He probably is.
Thank God MrBeast came along because now I can just chill out with my wife and nobody's coming after me, calling me a Nazi anymore because they're all going after him. He got kicked off of something
the other day. What was he kicked off? Twitch or something?
Oh, Twitch for like an old stream or something where he used the N-word. Twitch is freaking ridiculous. I don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah, piece of sheet. S-H-E-E-T gets you banned. Anyway.
Anything gets you banned over on Twitch. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do. Yeah, so this is coming from Insider, and we're going to pull up the tweet and the backlash to the tweet. Apparently, he bought an entire neighborhood in North Carolina for his staff to live in. Now, it's so funny that a lot of the people that are attacking him are also Disney stans.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I've got a funny story for you because this is bringing it all back to the DeSantis Disney thing. The reason that Disney had the Reedy Creek deal was because Walt was going to build a city.
Right, but it wasn't just a city for anyone. It was a city. Well, it was going to have things, but that was for his employees to live there.
Yes, he was basically going to build a company town, but it was going to be a futuristic company town. And guess what?
It was still a company town.
Guess what it was called? The Experimental Prototype City of Tomorrow, or Epcot. Oh my God. It wasn't supposed to be a theme park. It was going to be a town. It was going to be a city. And then they didn't do it after he died. And they kept their Reedy Creek status and all that jazz. But anyway, it's fine if he does it. It's fine if he does it, but MrBeast does it. So this is coming from an insider. MrBeast responds to backlash over reports he's been buying up an entire neighborhood for family, friends, and employees. I was just helping some people.
But even if he wanted to, it's his money. If he wanted to buy up a community for his family, friends, and employees, that's his business. He's allowed to do that. What difference does it make? Like, he's not telling them, you know, I can live here if you work for me, or I buy you this house. You have to, you have to work 24 hours a day. You eat what I tell you, sleep what I tell you. It's not like that. It's not like the company fucking store. That's not what this is. I mean, I don't understand it.
Company store just carries his chocolate, and that's it.
Right.
And his hamburger. He has hamburgers or something.
Well, they'd be okay with it if he was buying them a house. I don't think you would turn around and say, no, MrBeast, I'm not taking this car or this house, or my kid needs surgery and he's paying for it. I'm sure you weren't going to say no.
You know what's funny about this, and it could just be gratitude because his staff got him to where he's at right now. But what's funny about this is we're not talking about the massive amounts of money that people think we're talking about. One, he's buying a bunch of houses in North Carolina. Right?
Yeah, it's not like
it's not LA.
Not like buying, you're not buying a house in San Francisco or LA or New York City or something.
Yeah, LA where you could buy a mansion, it's going to set you 15, 20, 30 million dollars back, right? Two, he made like what, $54 million last year.
How much of that did he give away? Is that what he took after
that's
everything?
His gross, yeah. So that's his reported income. Now I think that's just YouTube. He obviously does other things. He invests in other companies,
which
or
is
whatever.
smart, and he's not very old.
He's not that old. He's in his 20s, and he's investing. This guy's
that's
not
smart.
Stupid. Because he knows his shelf life is limited.
Diversification is a good thing.
Yeah. So, in the grand scheme of things, and I know it sounds ridiculous because people are probably like, what? $54 million in the grand scheme of things, as far as rich people go, is not a lot of money.
No.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I don't make $54 million a year.
No.
I don't even make anything close to that. But there are Hollywood celebrities that make more than that on residuals. They get more than that per movie.
You don't see them out there buying houses for their friends and family and people that work for them.
No, but they'll go buy themselves a $50 million mansion.
Right.
Like 3 of them. They'll go buy like one in France, and then they'll go buy one in...
How much they pay for just the dresses and the outfits they wear for these events.
So, I mean, there are absolutely positively worse uses of your money than buying your staff a place to live so they don't have to worry about having a roof over their head because they helped you get to where you're at. And I'm just saying. They say critics called the move culty and accused him of creating a company town that would ultimately benefit his business.
Okay, first of all, where were the critics at? Twitter?
Twitter
is the last place on earth that has a right calling anybody else a cult.
I know, right? The YouTuber said he could only get canceled. Only he could get canceled for giving people a place to live with no strings attached.
Pretty much, dude. I think you do that. They were mad at him because he did all the colorblind glasses, I guess, or eye surgery or something, and they were mad about him for that. Look, sometimes I do think that it can be when people are just doing stuff to get attention to use for videos. I think it can be, a little bit. However, in his case, he takes the money he makes to help other people, and if you're out there helping a lot of people. And the people are okay with it because they can say no, then, I don't see the problem is.
So they said, he said he was helping out some people. Now he makes $54 million a year, right? And he's got all these other businesses. God knows what he actually makes. But he lives in a relatively modest home near Greenville, North Carolina.
Where he grew up.
By where he grew up. On Tuesday, reports began circulating he's been buying out the neighborhood for himself and his friends, family, and workers, per the New York Post. So he's basically going around just buying up houses in his neighborhood and being like, hey, I'll give you a house. Because, it might be the house is like $200,000-$300,000 compared to whatever you're going to pay in California. Right.
Yeah, $200,000 house, a $300,000 house in North Carolina isn't a $200,000 or $300,000 house in California.
Now, I remember when I think it was Bruce Willis and Demi Moore were buying houses up or buying
They were buying a whole town.
Yeah, and the people are going to blow it out of proportion and be like, oh my God. But I'm like, look, if the house is for sale and you've got the money, you're also helping the economy because you're taking another house off the market, so you don't have all these because I'm like, if he's buying up the whole neighborhood, how many for sale signs are all up all over the place?
Or he's going up and, I don't know, is he buying ones that are already for sale or is he asking people to sell?
He might be asking.
And the thing is, they're not going to sell their house. He's going
to film that. If MrBeast gave you $1 million for your $150,000 house, would you take it? Would you move out today if he showed up on your doorstep with $1 million, saying, move out of your house? I don't care if it was grandma's house. Get the hell out of this house. $1 million, here it is. Would you do it? Maybe that's what he's doing. I
don't know.
Maybe it's all a stunt. Who knows? On Twitter this week. There we go. That's the first problem.
There's a cult. On the cult this week. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Some praise the creator's generosity and ingenuity as he's become somewhat famous for giving away millions to strangers. Other users, however, accused him of starting to create a company town with little separation for his employees between their workplace and their home life. Historically, a company town is a place where all.
If he's based there, they're all probably around that place anyway.
Yes, they're probably all working in North Carolina. So, how is it saying? Okay, so I worked for a company that two of our executives had suites in the building we were in. The office building we were in, and that was part of their compensation. And part of the reason they did that is they wanted to bring these guys the one guy was from like Maine, and the other guy, and they didn't have a place to live. So they're like, fine, we will give you a suite in the building. That's part of your compensation. That, your rent's paid, just move here, live here. Is that a company?
Well, here's the next thing. If he had people that don't live there, which I'm assuming most of them would live somewhere nearby, If they don't live there, I mean, if he's not mandating they move there to work just for him, because that's what company towns were. You wanted to work for the mine or whatever, you had to live in these houses or work for the company. You lived in these houses, you moved there, and they gave you the houses, and that was, you know, you had to come there to live. That gave you a place to live if you came there. If people are already there, then that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
is he forcing anybody to live in these houses?
No.
Then if he's not forcing them, the analogy is not correct.
Yeah, and look, companies do this all the time. They're just not internet celebrities, but they do that. This is actually very normal. It's actually normal. The one ad agency I worked for, they also had their own real estate company, and they had a lot of their people living in basically renting off of the ad agency because they were involved in a lot of different things. I mean, Bay Lake. Who do you think owns the property?
Oh, it's okay when it's Disney. DeSantis is just being mean.
Yeah, it's okay when it's... I'm just saying, like, this is not unusual. What is unusual is that we're dealing with a YouTube celebrity, and Twitter can't stand it when somebody's financials are made public, and they can't fathom the idea that somebody has enough money to do that. But he runs a company. And they do this all the time.
I'm sticking by my Batman thing. I hate Batman because he's a fascist, but Batman basically spends all his time protecting people and doing things for people. And that's kind of, I'm not saying that he is like Batman, but I'm saying it's a similar idea, and they're all pissed about it. They said his own people like came to his defense, and they're like, the people that would be benefiting from this are like, we're the ones that would make that decision, and we think it's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it says it's unclear who lives in the homes the YouTuber purchased, but Donaldson has long lived near his childhood friends. Aaron Bowden, one of the homeowners who sold to Donaldson, told the Post that the creator had mentioned that he planned to move his employees and family into the homes. It's not the first time Donaldson's large-scale philanthropy has drawn criticism.
Yeah, the cataract surgery.
Yeah. In January, a video where he filmed himself gifting cataract surgery to 1,000 people sparked backlash as some viewers accused the YouTuber of performing the act for clout and engagement. Others said Donaldson's video highlighted flaws in the U.S. healthcare system, noting that the surgery was rendered inaccessible to those who didn't have the funds or medical insurance. This is ridiculous. Donaldson did not acknowledge the systemic criticism, but tweeted in defense of his generosity. Twitter, rich people should help others with their money. Me, okay, I'll use my money to help people, and I promise to give away all my money before I die. Every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast.
Yes, Mr. That's exactly what it is. Twitter, you can never make them happy. They're mad that you didn't give them the money. If you went to them and said, what do you need, and gave it to them, they'd take it, and they think they deserve it. But you're not giving it to them specifically. Now, I think it's when you're doing egregious things for clout, yes. I mean, they're mad about this. Meanwhile, Disney, they're giving to the food pantry for their cast members now. They didn't help them during the actual crisis. And every time Disney does anything just to be nice, they make a big PR, all the newspapers cover it, all the bloggers are supposed to cover it. They just make a big show of when they donate money or when they help somebody. They don't do it out of the goodness of their heart. It's for PR.
So yeah, they're using him for PR. They're using him as a platform to spout off about their own personal problems with the current economic situation here in America. In March, he received online pushback for a video in which he gave away 20,000 pairs of shoes to South African students in need. How very dare he?
Right. They're mad because they didn't give them shoes.
They do this to Elon Musk, too. They're like, Elon, instead of buying Twitter, you could have spent billions of dollars doing something else. And he's like, well, here's a record of like the single largest donation to whatever charity it was ever. World Hunger. I think it was like World Hunger or something like that. He gave like $6 billion or something like that. And people were taking him to task. They're like, but it's not enough. It's not enough. You're bad. You're a bad man.
Oh, this next statement is kind of interesting. They said that YouTuber Ludwig, how do you say it?
Argren?
I don't know the person. It's probably a big person. You're like, how do you not know? It's like, I don't usually watch people. I don't have time. He's part of the machine. He's not going to fix capitalism. He's going to operate within it. And it's fine that he also does good. You don't have to love him because he's doing charity work, but to hate him for it seems a little backwards. Is it better he didn't do it at all? I don't think so. There's so many people out there that do a lot of things, you just don't know about it.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, by him doing these videos, okay, it's like, well, he's doing these things for attention. Okay, let's look at this bigger picture. Just FYI, the heavy breathing was not Neon, it was our dog. Anyway, so the bigger picture here is he might do a video where he gives 20,000 pairs of shoes to kids in another country, right? And those videos get a lot of views. People are like, wait, he makes a lot of money. The videos get a lot of views. Right, they do. But from those views and from that money that's generated, he can then turn around and give even more to the next person who needs it. And I'm like, I don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, there are so many rich people that you suck up to and you kiss their ass and worship the ground they walk on that do jack shit for anybody but themselves. But yet you worship these people and elevate them and then go on about how great they are all the time. And like, you know, have a meltdown if they're anywhere near you, but they don't help anyone but themselves.
Yeah. Then
somebody goes out and helps other people and you're mad about it. You know what? Fine. Why don't you guys go out and help other people? You can. No one's stopping you. Take videos of it if you feel like you must. But you know, if you feel it's wrong, take videos. Don't. But you could be out there helping people. You don't. But you're on Twitter bitching about it all day.
Yet no money to the poverty, shaking my head. Company towns are bad because he controls everything of their lives, whether they realize it or not.
They already live there, I think.
Oh my God. Maybe it's just like, hey guys, the best thing I can do for you is to make sure you have a roof over your head. You never have to worry about paying rent or mortgage again, you know, and
well, these people have enough fucking money to buy blue checks.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
How entitled of you? Because there's a lot of people who can't even afford a blue check. What the hell? You're just, you know, flashing your money and your clout.
How long before we have someone angry in the comments? He must be new because that happened like right away. People were supporting gentrification. Oh my God.
Okay, whatever.
PewDiePie is still the YouTube goat to me. MrBeast basically bought his subs. How much money does this man have? Lots. 40 million last report I saw. His companies are worth close to 5 billion estimate. Of course, those are his companies.
Right, that's not him necessarily.
Personally,
God, if you understand how this works.
Personally, and even that compared to Elon Musk, or even just a tech bro for some whatever, that's a drop in the bucket. Like we're dealing with sums of money now that are so outside the realm of comprehension for normal people that don't look at financials and look at companies and all that, that they just look at the dollar amount. They're like, oh my God, they made $100 million this month, even though the company's spending $300 million.
So these people that are complaining,
yeah,
for argument's sake, let's just say one day they suddenly made a bunch of money. I bet you might they keep it. I bet you might they keep it because they're not good. If they give it away, what can they say? You know what I mean? And if they give it away, they won't be able to get it back. What he does is he gets it back and recycles it back to help other people. A lot of them that are bitchy and complaining, they would keep the money. They wouldn't help anybody.
Support MrBeast all you want, but there's some dark shit behind the nice guy front. This video explains all. The guy's like, what is he, like 25?
Oh my God. So wait, let me get this straight. It's wrong of MrBeast to help other people, but it's okay if you do a video you're shitting on MrBeast to make money.
I can't. Like, look, you don't have to agree with everything he does. You don't have to agree with everything that PewDiePie does, but really...
I don't agree with everything all those people do.
No, but the reality is, like, when you get to this level on YouTube, and we're not even in the ballpark of any of these guys, and we're starting to see it now. We get people, like, nitpicking every fucking thing that we do just because we do YouTube and we're there and they're pissed off that day and they gotta, you know, find...
They think we have something they don't.
They think we have, or we didn't deserve it or whatever. And
that's okay, I don't believe in socialism, so...
Yeah, whatever. You put the hours in, you do the homework, you figure it out, you know? Maybe if you're failing at YouTube, you just suck and people don't want to listen to you. You know, I don't know. It's not my problem. I'm sorry. I really am. But the thing is that, you know, this fixation on social media personalities. And I think what it is, this is my personal opinion. And this is a psychological thing. And I don't know if it's true or not because I'm not a psychologist, right? I'm just pulling this out of my ass. But I think that with social media personalities, because they're everyday people that made good, to these people, it's different. It's like, oh, that's one of us that became this big celebrity. And that could have been me versus an actual like movie star or musician or something like that, right, where they're elevated in their minds. Like, oh, okay, well, they're not really human. They're like above human, this celebrity or this musician.
Crabs in a bucket.
Right. But then they're like, wait, this is just some schlub that got lucky and it could have been me, but it's not me. And now I hate it.
We saw this firsthand, like, not that we were like big celebrities or anything, but we saw this firsthand when we were working on webcomics.
Oh my God.
When we started out, a bunch of other people were, you know, the same place we were started out recently. We ended up being bigger than a lot of people. And I'm not saying to be a braggy. It was just what happened. And the people that it was funny, people that still talk to us, a lot of people stopped talking to you when because they whatever thought were mad that you got bigger than they were. The ones that still talk to you though treated you like, you know, it would be funny to me because they'd be like falling all over somebody who they thought was one of the superstar people that was out of their league or whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we were doing better than they were, and they treat us like we were beneath them. But then they'd fall all over these people who they thought were the stars, and either they'd stop talking to you or they'd treat you like you're beneath them somehow while worshiping people who were doing far less than you. And it was this really weird, you know, it's like you know who your real friends were because you know they didn't treat you differently, but it was this really weird thing. And meanwhile, we were trying hard. We were like, we help other people. Like when we got some things, you actually got some people, helped some people get some work, you know, mainstream publishing.
Oh my God, I was so mad about that.
And then as soon as they thought you were Comicsgate, they all unfriended you.
Literally, people I got gigs for and helped get gigs for, like freaking unfriended me. I'm like, what the hell? I think the reason that a lot of these people will fall all over, you know, a celebrity, again, you know, AOC or whatever, is in their minds, that person is not mortal. I can never be them. So it's okay because I could never be that person. But when they see a MrBeast and they're like, wait, he's just some kid from North Carolina. That's not fair. He lives
in a modest home in North Carolina.
That's not fair. How very dare he? How dare he be successful?
Right. But meanwhile, you have celebrities who, some of them just got there because their parents were celebrities.
Yeah.
Doing absolutely nothing but you know, self-serving shit, but that's okay. I mean, I don't know every detail about it. But to me, when somebody's out there trying to do good, I mean, they might not always agree with the ways they do good, but they're out there trying to do good. I personally am more like, you know, keep it on a down low type person. However, in his case, it's actually, he does it to you know, afford to help more people. I don't always agree with the methods, but I agree that, you know, it's helping people. And I think that it's ridiculous every time he does anything. They're like right there to shit on him.
Yeah, I know, right? It's look, we saw this with PewDiePie.
I want to join the team. Yeah, exactly.
I saw this with a PewDiePie. We saw it with PewDiePie, and now, like I said, he's probably like, oh, thank God, they're leaving me alone. They're going after him now, so good luck with that. I got married. I'm having a kid. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. This guy can deal with it, but it happens to social media personalities all the time. It doesn't matter what you do, who you are.
It's a jealous little baby hissy fit rant fest.
Hissy, pissy, shitty fit.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
I think we need to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. And we'll talk later.
Bye.
Pre-order the Clownfish TV comic book right now on Indiegogo. Go to clownfishtvcomic.com. That's clownfishtvcomic.com. This is a fun collection of all new comic strips based on dumb stuff we've said on the show. Again, that's clownfishtvcomic.com. You're gonna have to hurry. We're only taking pre-orders for a limited time. Now we're gonna get back into the show. Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.